Hey guys, welcome to Deep Topics. My name is Azariah, and this is my twin brother, Jeremiah, right across the table.
Hey guys.
And you are listening to Deep Topics, which is actually our podcast where we actually dive into, well, deep topics. And our first one is actually something that can be pretty deep. Have I used the word deep enough?
Yes. So
I think we already made
this
it clear.
this topic is about friendships and how to become a better friend. Now, we have asked ourselves this question before.
And asked a lot of our friends about this too.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of preparation going on.
And we've researched.
Yep.
Like for me, I researched only 3 articles. And by the way, all the information that we get will be in the link in the description.
Yep, in the
down
descriptions. Just look below.
So let's begin. So, what is a friend? In the dictionary, you guys could look it up, but basically it says a person whom one knows well and is fond of. And take a look at this. Number 2, a supporter or sympathizer. This is really interesting. Some synonyms are a companion or soulmate. So, what is a true friend?
Well, first of all, I will say this. Just you reading those definitions reminds me of when I started taking dual enrollment. One of the very first assignments I had to write was basically a definition essay of what a true friend was. And that was like my first one. So this is two of the things I kind of came up with was basically a true friend is someone who basically is willing to do life with you, always has your back, and gives you good counsel when you need it. Now, I'll dive deeper into those like probably later on in my notes if I even wrote it in there. I don't even remember. But that's what I would consider the definition of a true friend. Of course, it's a lot deeper than that, but that's what I got out of it.
And like some online, like for example, LifeLot says like a true friend is someone who has your back and someone who's authentic and honest with you.
Yep.
And take a look at this. They don't abandon you.
Ooh, yeah, exactly. They have your back.
They have your back.
They're there for the hard times. They're there for the good times.
So now since we're getting into this topic, let's go into the levels of friendships.
Well,
right?
first of all, we should probably mention why friendship is important. Well, actually, you know what? How about we go with you first?
Yeah.
And then I'll mention why friendship is important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there are many levels of friendships. Number 1, there are those who are friendly. They're more like acquaintances, right? So acquaintances are basically people who you hang out with. You're not really close to, but you're friendly with them.
Yeah, these are basically like your workers, like the people at your job that you hang out with during lunch.
Yeah, like you kind of have to be with them.
You gotta be. Yeah, you have to be friendly at least.
Friendly.
Even with the one that you necessarily don't really like.
Yeah.
You know?
Anyways, number 2, there are those who you have a good time with, like these are the people that invite you with the games and stuff, and you have a great time forgetting your problems and stuff, which is pretty neat.
In that case, so those are like the friends that you have, like those are your social friends, right?
Yeah.
Those are the people that it's like, oh, hey, do you want to go to a party tonight? Oh, yeah, sure, let's go.
Yeah.
And
So
it's basically those that they kind of like do life together in a way, but in a light level. It's not like super high up there.
they're definitely like the extroverts that, hey, let's just hang out together, like let's party or stuff like that.
Yeah. And sometimes when they leave, though, everything kind of gets boring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then that leads me to the third point that I have. There are those who are interested in your life. There are those who would they would call you, they'll text you, they'll actually want to know how you are as a person.
Yeah.
And those friends are kind of rare. Well, not really, but like friends who are actually genuinely interested in your life, that's something special.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I mean, those are kind of like the friends that I hold personally. I think like one of the most important things of having friendships like that is that when you have someone who actually cares for you, that basically is the entire whole definition of a true friend within itself, because they're willing to do life with you. They have your back. They care for you. They call and check up on you and say, hey, how are you doing? Of course, they don't bother you too much Because that's like one other thing. Like if you have a friend that's always constantly after you, checking on you, that itself can be harmful.
Or it could just be annoying for the other person. Like if you're receiving all these texts like, what's going on? Like, can I just be alone by myself?
For just a little bit.
Which is...
Everyone struggles with that a little bit. I mean, mostly extroverts, they struggle with that a little more. I mean, with me, I'm an introvert. And it's a little bit easier for me to just check up on people once in a while, but not all the time. And it goes really well most of the time. But yeah, definitely the best friends are probably the ones that they have your back. Now, first of all, what are next in your notes? I just want to know.
Oh yeah, sure. I have a copy. Here's another one.
Thank you. I forgot.
So you mentioned like number 4, like there are friends like who are with you in the good and the bad, and they're like your ride or die friends.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So how about you give them a definition of like ride or die, because some people might not know.
Okay, so basically the whole metaphor is actually coming from basically this. I'm trying to remember exactly. It's kind of like a biking term. So, motorcyclists, they get on the bikes, and they always have someone riding behind them. That's their ride or die friend, in a way, because you're riding together. If something bad happens, both y'all die together. So that's the whole idea. So basically, a ride or die friend is someone who's like, okay, I'm going to be with you. Even if we get hurt together in this case, I'm going with you. If you're going down in the trenches, I'm going with you there. Even if we get to the grave, I'll be there with you. So
these are like really close people.
You know, I have to say, that's kind of almost like the whole Christian gospel story in a way. Mm-hmm. If you really think about it, that's really what Jesus was. He was your ride and die friend. I mean, when you look in the whole story of the gospel, Jesus comes through and he's there for you all the time. He's like, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll feel no evil. I think that's Psalms 23. If I exactly
Psalms
remember.
23. Yeah.
By the way, put it up front, we're Christian. Don't be offended, please. Yeah. But anyway, the real question that some individuals have is, why is friendship important? I mean, I have a cousin who is not very social. We won't say her name just for the protection of it. But I wonder if, in some cases, if she wonders whether even friendship among families, is important. So here's what I have to say. So when it comes to social creatures, even antisocial or asocial, however you say it, that humans themselves, they're social creatures. Even though some people are like, oh, I don't like hanging out with people, I bet you they're getting on their laptops right now and texting their friends on a Discord server or something like that. Okay.
Right. So like these are like your introverts, and we'll probably get in a discussion about like friends.
Yeah, personality types. Cool topic.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to that at some point. But why friendships? Why is that important?
Yes, thank you. So even though, I mean, like in the case of introverts, going back to the introverts, even though, we're more introverted than, even though there's some introverts that are more introverted than other introverts, or really in this case, there's people that are more introverted than other individuals who are extroverts, they still need friendships. I mean, that's one of the main reasons why we have social media.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to make those connections. And if we can't find those connections, we're not satisfied. And so because of that, we were basically wired to be that way. And in fact, there was this study done during the COVID era. In fact, it was it bore the title of, hold on, let me see here. I actually pulled it up on my laptop for such a time as this.
The mic.
The title of it is Loneliness Before and During the COVID-19 Pandemic, a systematic review with meta-analysis. Now, of course, I'm not going to read it all, but basically a ton of psychologists just looking through everything. They use cool things like databases and that kind of thing, which I think is kind of cool, but that's beside the point. The real point is actually in the conclusion. So, thankfully, after everyone did the study, they concluded that, quote, hold on, I'm trying to find the spot. Observed effects were small, so observed effects of worry were small and heterogeneous. suggesting that at this point in time, concerns about a loneliness pandemic are likely overblown. However, as loneliness constitutes a risk for premature mortality and mental and physical health, it should be closely monitored, ideally in combination with potential risk and protective factors and health outcomes to derive appropriate interventions. Now, in this article, in fact, no, not in this article, in this paper.
Okay.
Written by psychologists, peer-reviewed, published by the APA. Okay, that's what the name of the website is, and also the organization. When you get lonely, you can die sooner.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's been proven. I mean, obviously, we were made to be around with people. That's why we always have. That's why couples are necessary. Particularly the men and women couples, but those are necessary. So because of that, loneliness. So because of that, that's why we need friendships. We can't be lonely. So that's the reason.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
There was I just pulled this up. Helpguide.org says benefits of friendships. Number one, they improve your mood. Spending time with happy and positive friends can elevate your mood and boost your outlook. It also says that it reduces stress and depression.
Yeah.
So, guys,
there's health benefits.
If you are stressed or depressed, or if you're feeling lonely, get into contact with somebody.
Yes.
Just somebody. Like, it could be like a close friend, a family, and
it could even just be a neighbor.
It could be your neighbor,
and maybe someone that you've never even made connections with before. Because I remember when we used to live in South Carolina. Now, first of all, actually, we have to rewind. Originally, we used to live in Minneapolis, Kansas. And basically, if you don't know, just look it up. Look it up on Google. It exists. George Washington Carver lived there at one point. But we had a ton of connections. That was basically where our friendships began, in the neighborhood.
Oh, we were 7 years old.
And we were 7 years old, yes. However, in South Carolina, even then, we were able to make friendships. However, we had to go abroad. Exactly. We had to look. And most of our friends were actually adults. And because of that, even though most of the friends at that point were being made at a town city about 30 minutes away, we were still able to make friendships there because we were able to make connections because we as humans are made to have connections like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know where I was going with that.
That's okay.
We can ramble a lot, guys. So
yes, basically what you guys are hearing is basically a conversation between my brother and I, and we're just letting you tune in. It's called eavesdropping, right? I'm just joking.
Well, it's okay eavesdropping because we gave them permission to do it.
Absolutely. And if you guys don't like this video, if you guys like this video, please put a thumbs up. It
and
really
also
helps.
subscribe.
And subscribe.
Because when you subscribe, we can actually get this program out to more people.
Yeah.
So
back to the levels of friendship. So we already talked about the ride or die, but there's one more I could say. Number 5. There are friends who are there for you. Mm-hmm. Friends who let you know when you're doing something wrong in a loving and judgmental way. They're being honest with you.
Yeah, they're giving you advice.
Absolutely. And then here's this one. They're the ones to let you be your true self and help you through your weaknesses and habits and your bad habits. They're the ones to help you through your roughest moments of life.
Yeah, they're there for you.
They're kind of like your brother, your sister. They're kind of like your family. They're really close to you. Like they're so in tune with your life that they want to help you.
Yeah, in fact, actually, that's actually one of the things I mentioned in my essay. Basically, a true friend has your back. So really, if you want a true friend, that's the friend you have to head for.
Absolutely.
Someone who's willing to have your back. And of course, maybe you might be saying, "Oh, Azariah, Jeremiah, you don't how do I know if they're true friends?" Well, you test. You test them. And when something bad is happening, let them know.
And they will let you know, they would
or when something's happening to them, then you help them, and then we'll see if it works.
That goes to how do I become a better friend? Number 1, reach out to your friends. Not too often extroverts. I mean, I know that I struggle with this.
Yeah.
But reach out to your friends. Show that you actually care by it. It could be like a text message. It could be like a call. at least try to go and reach out to them maybe once a week. I'm not sure if that's too much for you guys, but that's what I would advise. Number 2, talk to your friends. Check on them. That's basically the same one. Number 3, laugh together. Have good memories.
Good memories, yeah.
Friends are there to, so you could have a good time with them.
Go out to a museum.
Yeah. Or
stop sitting on your butt on your phone playing Nintendo or playing some Tetris game or something like that. Although there's nothing wrong with Tetris. But still, if you have something in between spending time with your cell phone and spending time with friends, go with the friendships, basically.
Go and walk together. It could be I don't know. It could be like a national park, or just go out and do something with your friends. Spend time with them. Number 4, provide a safe place for them to be authentic with you without wearing a mask. And here's the thing that I think that in this society that we struggle with. We always seem to be wearing a mask, right? We don't show people our true selves most of the time. And honestly, guys, I struggle with this as well, so you're not alone. But it's so important to just take off your mask, because let's say you're wearing your mask and people like you. Who are they actually liking? Are they liking you, or are they liking your mask?
Yeah. I guess that's one issue that definitely a lot of people struggle with it. I think the real thing is because sometimes some individuals, they have differences that they don't want to actually show. Mm-hmm. And because of that, they actually hide it.
Exactly.
And in a way, I sometimes do that. And I'm sure you do sometimes do it too. Everyone does it. Everyone has a mask. The question is, how much is that mask actually like you? That's the real question.
Exactly.
Because even though I have a mask, I mean, usually I'm introverted, but right now I'm in an extroverted mode. That's my mask. However, when I'm not doing anything public, I shut up and I basically lock in.
Basically, after this podcast, he'll go in his bedroom and probably take a nap or something. Anyways.
Well, not even take a nap. I'm probably just going to get supper.
Exactly.
Or practice my violin, which is something I should probably do. But yeah.
Besides the point.
One more thing. I don't know did we cover this point yet? Get off the phone.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, guys, when you're hanging out with your friends, you don't want to be on your phone. Listen, I know a ton of people who, I wish I had my phone right now, but basically they just grab it and they're just and they're listening to oh, yeah. That's strong stuff. Sorry about that, man. Whew. Oh, yeah, that's strong. Whew.
And they're telling you their life story. So that's another thing. Don't when you're talking to them, don't judge them harshly. Judge them in a loving and caring way. Be there for them, and also actually listen. When you're on your phone and you're looking, your body language is showing, I'm not interested in your conversation right now.
Yeah, I mean, talking about body language, which actually looks like you're interested in your conversation. This or this? Which one?
Probably the first one, because you're engaged. Well,
you're engaged in a conversation.
It doesn't have to be that way.
I'm like this. I'm engaged in the conversation I'm having with you.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, even though sometimes I do lean back like this, I'm still listening.
Exactly.
But if you're on your phone,
or you're doing this,
or you're like this, you're not actually giving them attention. So you're really just giving them a blank wall.
Exactly. And
now,
that's the thing. When you're on your phone, or just actually listen to them. Active listening, it's great. As an extrovert, I suffer from not listening very well, and it has only been recently that I have practiced listening, and I wish I had learned this sooner, because I actually get to know who these people are. They're people. They're not just humans. Mm-hmm. They have a deep interpersonal life. They have a story to share. So I guess that's where we could stop. Actually listen to your friends when they're talking to you. Be there for them and provide them a safe place. Yep. So they could be their true selves.
It's funny because I'm actually looking, and I know this is definitely our ending point. However, I realize I have so many other good notes that we could pull out. However, for the sake of time, I think what we should do is have a part 2 of this podcast.
Exactly.
I mean, of this particular thing. I mean, this is like
a season deep topic.
This is a season deep 1, episode 1. We're talking about friendship, guys. So if you want to hear the next part, then you need to tune in for the next episode. I guess for the next episode, we should probably talk about good friendships.
Exactly.
Because that's one thing. Because a lot of people nowadays, especially teenagers, they just love making friends with bad people. And sometimes those bad people can end up in jail. But if you don't want to get locked up in jail, you may have to tune in for the next one. So I guess this is where we close. I'm Azariah.
And I'm Jeremiah. Wait, before we do, I want to say this. There's a verse that I love. It's found in John 15, verse 3. And it gives
13.
13, thank you.
Yeah,
and
John
it
15,
and
verse
it
13.
says, greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. There it is. That's what a true friend is. They're the ones that will be there for you. They lay down their lives for you, and they're actually part of your life, which is just beautiful.
Yep. Well, thanks for listening, guys, and for, bearing our first episode.
Thank you for tuning in. Sorry if it was rough. If you think we did a good job, press that thumbs up button and
even
subscribe.
If you didn't think it, still if you feel like, they're doing a good job, I want to press the like button, press it, because this is our first episode. It's just going to get better from here.
Exactly.
So
subscribe.
Be patient with us. Subscribe. If for some reason you don't think we improve enough, you can unsubscribe. That's fine.
Or let us know in the comments down below. Let us know your opinions. Like, what, in your perspective, what do you think is a true friend? Did we hit all the points correctly? Let us know.
And also tell us if we did the podcast good and presented it pretty good. That will also help us. We need feedback. This is the feedback loop. Young engineers out there, you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I'm Azariah.
I'm Jeremiah.
And you've been listening to Deep Topics.